Welcome to Puvanur RBIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RBIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. In the first place, congratulations to all of you for completing level 4. Today I am going to start off level 5. I will detail you out the learning roadmap, what I'm going to cover as part of level 5, which is an advanced learning. I want you to be focused and concentrated because there are many concepts you need to understand here. Once when you understand the concepts and if your basics are stronger, you will be able to build castles in the Laya journey. Before I get into the class, before I start level 5, I will start this class with a Thirukkural. மற்றும் தொடர்பாடு எவன் கொல் பிறப்பு அறுக்கல் உற்றார்க்கு உடம்பும் மிகை. What is the meaning of it? பிறவித் துன்பத்தை ஒழிக்க முயல்பவருக்கு உடம்பு மிகையானதாகும். ஆகையால் அதற்கு மேல் வேறு தொடர்பு கொள்வது ஏனோ. This body is primarily used as an instrument to ensure that we complete our janma and then we get into the sort of, become part of the heavenly abode. And why else we should think about of this body for some other means? That's what Thiruvallur compares very philosophically, and we need to ponder over this good thought. With this good thought, I will enter into this class. We are now in level 5. Congratulations to all of you for completing 4 levels and being part of this Laya journey. By itself a great achievement, I would say. Let's have a small recap of what all we have completed so far. We have completed the level 1, what we call the Balapadams. The Balapadams are nothing but the basic vowels, starting from basic vowels, the phrases, and the small Tirmanams, and we also learned the Mora phrases, different varieties. Totally I have composed, it's about 108 thalas, 108 lessons, basic lessons we have covered as part of Balapadams. I'm going to have a small e-book also published for each levels. So you can use as a ready reference, and I would like you to practice this level 1 all the time in whatever level you are. These are like a warm-up exercises for a body which requires a walking or a treadmill or whatever the exercises you do. Like that, if you want to be on this journey of Laya, these level 1 Balapadams are essential toolkits for you to practice every day and keep it intact. You should be able to play all the lessons in 3 speeds and have good control of all these lessons. The next level what we saw is introduction of 4 thalas, Adi Thalam, Rupaka Thalam, Misra Chapathalam and Kanda Chapathalam. These are the 4 Vedas, like the 4 seasons. These are the primary thalas which are predominantly used and sung by the musicians, and you will also be exposed to play for all these thalas, the songs composed in all these thalas. So we have seen the basic sequences, the approaches, the reduction, the mora, the small Tirmanams, how to go about it, how to have creative ideas, how to customize your playing, not playing continuously or whatever you have learned. Customize few sequences here and there and how to coinage it. All those things I taught you, you might have to do it as an exercise and homework to get it to perfection, and also do it in many different ways. That is level 2. Level 3, we got introduced to 35 thalas, the evolution of 35 thalas, Sapta thala, Pancha Nadai, 7 into 5, 35, and with we also the Jati and the Nadai. We also demonstrated how 175 is also formulated. We have we have documented these about 35 thala, 175 thala in a detailed way. You will have a quick reference of whatever the learnings you have had. There is no need for you to actually take any notes, because all these lessons are documented well with the notations, with the fingering positions, and with audio, video, and the publishing of the book. So you can use all these references to make it and do one sort of a learning in a focused way. If you want to learn any specific module, you can refer to the e-learning, that specific section. You can listen to my specific episode. You can actually listen to the audio teaching, the techniques. And using all these, you will be able to get a speed. As I told you, this model is Swayambhu. It's a self-based learning. There is no hurry that we have to finish in this much of time. There are categories of people who want to learn music for a passion. Some people wanted to take it as a profession, and that's why I deemed this model as a Swayambhu. And whomsoever wanted to pursue this art into a professional career, they can actually go into that path. Or a person just wanted to relax with music. He wants to learn some rudimentary basic things. For him also this model suits, because he can learn at his own pace. And he can practice and be happy and enjoy laya, what others play. That's another way of enjoying the music. The next one, what we saw in 35 thalas, we saw about 5 basic thalas. What are all the thalas we saw? Just a recap. Tisra Jadi Tripata Thalam, Ganda Jadi Tripata Thalam, Misra Jadi Jampa Thalam, Misra Jadi Tripata Thalam, Sangirna Jadi Tripata Thalam. These are the 5 thalas we saw, which are 7 beats, 9 beats, 10 beats, 11 beats, and 13 beats. We also dwelt on creative ideas, like how to go about doing a sequence in a different manner, in a sequential ascending manner or a descending manner. You can refer back the notes or refer back the videos, the respective videos for the understanding. The next one is level 4. Level 4 was to introduce the core-wise. Core-wise meaning the sequences, formation of sequences, what you can play for all the level 4 thalas what you learned in level 4, and also for all the 5 thalas what you learned in level 3. All these were in detail dealt with. About 6 episodes each, with each sections what you need to play, what are the varieties you can play, how you can be creative, doing it in an ascending, descending, or taking as a midpoint. So many ideas has been taught to you. And also I told you the technique of how to go about formulating a chorway. The first half, second half, if you shrink the first half, how you actually have to elongate the second half. And if you want to shrink the second half, how you can suitably have to adjust the first half. We saw all these techniques. We learned so many of them. I want you to go rewind and see everything and understand and digest all these facts. Now that you have reached this stage, what I wanted you to do is, before you get in to understand more advanced concepts, I want you to digest all these levels of learning in a nice way. For that to happen, you should have focused efforts. The level 1 should be a continuous exercise. Level 2 and level 3 can be a choice per day. Meaning, like if Monday to Friday, if you have completed up to level 4, you should choose one in level 2, you should choose one in level 3, and you should choose few balapadams. That's how you should have a design your own learning or a practice model week on week to strengthen the concepts. If you could do that, you will be able to spend more time and then get to your heart closer rather than referring the book. The book is only a mean to refer. It should be used like a manual, not all the time. Whenever you perform, you want to sit with the book and then want to perform. That's not performance. Many people, even today, musicians, they refer, keep the book in front and then they try to sing a concert, a public concert. I completely disagree with this sort of an model because that's not a leg them because you're a performer. When you're a performer, you have to be on top of your mind. Everything, whatever you've learned, should be in your mind. You should have digested all the facts. And for that to happen, ages of practice. You should be thinking about it. And then only then you get to speed and then you'll be able to deliver well when you're performing. So before you get into level 5, my rule of thumb would be to have customized, I will work with you, how you have to go about practicing. This is a big challenge for people to know. They don't know what to practice because they take the last lesson, whatever has been taught in the class, they take and practice and then leave it. They might, because level 1 had happened about 1.5 years back, nobody will go even and look at it like dresses which are lying in a wardrobe not being used. So it's something like that. So anything, whatever we have learned, if we want to have it in our memory, we need to completely refresh again and again. If this refreshment is not happening, and I think you're depleted out of ideas, and you may not be able to perform the way you want to. So it's a constant effort. You should think about it and keep doing, keep researching, and the ideas overflow. And then you will be able to implement and you can grow into a better state. So these are all the tips I wanted to give you because again, this level 5 is going to expose you to a lot many ideas and concepts. It's going to be pretty interesting. I wanted all of you to stay focused and then understand these concepts. The first, in level 5, what are we going to see? I'll give a short tour of what we're going to see so that you have your expectations met. Because this level is advanced, I'm going to cover up first is the Pancha Nadai. What are all the Pancha Nadais? Pancha Nadais are Tisra Nadai, which is 3. Chatusra Nadai is 4. Gandha Nadai is 5. Misra Nadai is 7. Sangirna Nadai is 9. These are the 5 Nadais which are called Pancha Nadais. We are also going to learn a specific art which is called Kuraipu or the reduction, traditional reduction. We saw traditional reduction in each of the thalas, like in Adi Thalam, dhim, takita dim, takita dim, takita dim, takita dim, takita takadina dim. We saw this model. That's a traditional reduction, and then we get into Faran, and then Mora, and then the Korwai. You might have seen in all the thalas, this would have been the structure. Here, in addition to that, there is a scientific way of doing a reduction. The scientific way, instead of traditional reduction, if you want to do in a more mathematical form, you can choose a Misra Kurapu in Adithalam. For example, if you have a 64, 32 is Adithalam, 8 into 4, 2 cycles is 64. If you wanted to do a Misra Kurapu, you have to take after 2 fingers, which is 56. 56 aksharas, and we will see how to do Misra Kurapu in a grandeur. So it goes like that. It comes from, in an Adithalam of 64 aksharas, it will come as 56, 28, 14 and 7. So half of each cycle, we will keep reducing it and finally get into the crescendo and finally get into the Mora and Korwai. That is another scientific way of reduction. Traditional reduction has got multiple compositions, and even in this Misra Kuraipu, there are many methods by which you can use the phrases, just not the 7 all the time, but the 7 flavored phrases are very many. I'm going to teach you all those. We are going to learn the Pancha Nadais. Next is, as I told you, we're going to do the reduction. This is scientific reduction in addition to the traditional reduction. So we will deal at length. I will give you a lot of ideas, because this is especially useful when you play with two or more percussion artists being sharing the same stage. So when you do the Mr. Korepu, the other person also will do the Mr. Korepu. So that makes it more interesting, more lively, and the audience will be able to enjoy this dialogue more. So I normally call the exchange of laya patterns between a mridangist and the tabla player, or a mridangist and the gadam, or ganchira, or morsing. The dialogue mode between them makes it all the more interesting. The audience get into rapt attention, they get into joyous state, because two different tonal effects, these overtonal effects, gives a complete ecstatic state. So you're going to learn all those korepus. Then the most important thing what you're going to learn in level 5 is the song, the different type of songs, what is being sung more prevalent in the Carnatic music system. Typically in Adi Thalam there are quarter beat, half beat and 3/4 beats, and there are concepts of Rattakalai. When same Adi Thalam, when you put as two beats in each cycle. They also do in RTP, Ragam Thanam Pallavi, they do four beats in each, for each count. And then it can also be 8, it can be as complex of 8 as well. So all these are possible, and we're going to see all these concepts. We are going to also, in all those things, the edipus change. It can be Atitha edipu, Anagata edipu, like meaning like it can be after the cycle is over. Takita tatha or takatha. It can be from the back after, before it starts, the cycle starts, the song will be taken in that place. So those are all the special places, more prevalent places. There are unique compositions where it can also start at some other different place altogether. It not been so. Generally, I'm going to cover the typical Oedipus, especially Adi Thalam. We got quarter beat, half beat, and a 3/4 beat. We also have in Adi Thalam, Rupaka Thalam, and Misra Chapu Thalam, Moonu Thalli. Moonu Thalli is quite famous in Misra Chapu, Onu Thalli, Rendu Thalli, Moonu Thalli. We will see all those Moonu Thalli is 3 matras away from shift from the normal. Ta kita ta ta doom, like that. After 3 matras, the song will be ta kita. Padavini in Nata Bhairavi, there is a song. There are many song compositions like that. Kadaikan Vaithanai Para in Vegada in Misra Chapu, you will have after 3 beats. Again in Rupakathalam there are very many examples which we are going to see in level 6. How actually I am going to play a few cassettes and the songs played by the Vidwans, so that you will be able to have a better understanding of how all these dealings are happening by our Vidwans. So that's going to be a learning in level 6. So in level 5, these are all the things you're going to learn in about song positions and placements and different types. I will also teach you a transformational exercise in this level 5, which is whatever the lessons you have learned from level 2, level 3 and level 4, the entire lesson, I'm going to teach you the concept of dum. This dum is going to play it as a gumiki. I'll teach you how to play gumiki first, how we can generate the sound, what is gumiki in the first place. I'll teach you that after I cover all these topics. And then we need to convert whatever you have played in level 2 using gumiki is the entire lesson. Tadim, 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 starting from that sequence in Aditaram, we're going to play in gumiki. So it's a transformational exercise. So which means you've got 4 thalas there and 5 thalas, whatever we have seen, you're going to play consciously wherever dum is there using gumiki. So that's going to be a big change. First of all, you have to get this gumiki first right, and then you have to convert all these lessons with gumiki patterns, and then you will be able to enjoy how the same lesson has got into a best and better effect. So these are the things which you're going to learn in level 5. So with this, it broadly concludes. I also teach you a little bit of RTP concepts, basic concepts like Purvangam, this Karvai and Uttarangam, how a Pallavi structure is typically formed, how a Pallavi is organized. I'll give you samples of the Pallavis and how these mathematical notations befits beautifully, and how you have to go to repeat in Trikalam, Anulobam, Pratilobam, all those things how you can do. Interpretation of half the cycle in slow beat and then the fast beat, playing the same Pallavi in Tisra Nadai, Kirikalam and Melkalam, what are all the combination you can do. In the first place, Pallavi itself, you need to understand what it is. Pala, Laya, Vinyasam, that is Pallavi. So it is Pala is variety, Laya, these art forms, these phrases. Vinyasam is using those phrases, you're trying to do different varieties of exposing those patterns, twining it with ideas. That's what you're going to learn in this RTP concepts. So I'll teach only the basics, that's the primary idea. These are advanced concepts. As you move along, you will be able to understand all these. When I teach you the rudimentaries, you can start listening to RTP and you will be able to understand and quickly grab many things. And start people sing like Panchamukhi Thalam, they sing Pallavi in Tisra Jadi, Triputai, Misra Nadai, and Rendu Talli Edupu. All these things, you should get on the spot what is the calculation. Our academy is music and mathematics. So Tisra Jadi, Triputatalam, Misra Nadai, Rendu Talli means how much, what is the total count. You have to get it on the fly. Tisra Jadi, Triputai, I'll give one example. It's 7 beats. So in that Misra Nadai is 7, each finger is 7 into 7, 49. When you have to take after two fingers, it's 51. So the positionally, if that is the case, what is it that you can play to get to that place? All these ideas you should get. I'll teach you some rudimentaries, but these are all the concepts. Once you know the concepts, if like Sangirna Jadi Dhruvathalam, first of all you should know what is the structure of Dhruvathalam. What is Sangirnam you should know. Then if the total count is 29 you should know. And if it's Tisra Nadai, you have to know about it. Only then you will be able to know, first of all, start doing the calculation. So that's why again and again, this theory also, to an extent, it's important if you want to be a professional artist. And for people who just want to enjoy music, for them, I don't want them to get too much of strain with my lectures, but I would suggest all these, you can listen again and again. The ideas gets into you. And then when somebody else play, you can appreciate those ideas. That's the very purpose of having it part of my level 5. So it's a little longer talk, it's prosaic, but I thought I should give all these inputs to you before I get into the actual class. It's very important. So these are all the takeaways I wanted to tell you before I get into level 5. It's very vital that you stay with me and then understand these concepts, whatever I'm going to drive it through for the next few episodes. So I'm signing off this class with the Thirukural. I will see you in the next class with the first opening of Pancha Nadai, which is Tisra Nadai. One more thing I wanted to tell you before I start this, I'm going to introduce this level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, the learning roadmap. This learning roadmap will actually broadly tell you what is the agenda that you have learned already. For people who already learned, that's going to be there. And for the people who are going to get enrolled, for them in the first place they will get to know what all they're going to be, what is that they're going to learn over a period of few years. Typically, I would say in my academy, this learning curriculum will run for 3 to 4 years. The good student can complete in 3 years. A little slow student, and I would not say an average student, for some was actually engaged in some of the work and also wanted to learn, they might take a little longer because they might be missing few classes. They may not have time because they might be busy in their regular schedules. For them, I would say it's anywhere between 4 to 4.5 years, which is not very far. I think 1 year is nothing in the whole life's journey. But essential is how however you learn focused. If you learn focused, and that's the key. The quality of what you learn is important than the quantity of what you learn. So the quality attribute always stays. However you learn, you can even rush through all my episodes in 3 months, but eventually, no, you will not be able to digest all these. It'll fly off again, it'll vanish. I bet you it'll vanish out of you. Take time, understand the concept, play well, rehearse well, and only then it will stay. This art. You can't rush it through. There's no way you're going to get this art in a quick. It's something like a mother has to wait. If somebody has to become a mother, she has to wait for 10 months. If she expects the child to be born in 10 days, I think that's not possible. That's next to impossible. So that is the patience you need to know. You have to all put forward in your life. If you want to have this music for a long time. If you want to have short-lived, yes, 1 or 2 years, you can quickly learn, quickly run through pages and then go. But I want you to stay and understand. And I'm sure in this academy, with these sort of detailing out of the concepts, if somebody can, or really just serious enough, and if they can really practice the way I have instructed them, I'm sure they can make it into a good professional artist, without a doubt, and they can go places. It's a question of continuous effort, sustained effort, that way they're going to reap benefits. So patience is the key for anyone to grow in this Laya professional career. So they have to stay put, they have to be patient, they have to be persistent, consistent, and self-disciplined, playing every day and thinking about the concepts and innovating these concepts. And then if they could do it in a much religious way, there's no two ways about it, they're going to make their footprints in this Laya world. They can be another Umayalapuram Shivaraman. They can be another Karakudi Manisar. They can be another Palgad Mani. They can be again another Parani Subramaniam Pillai. They can be any of the stalwarts. There are very many stalwarts who are there. In fact, if you can watch all the time, whenever you get the time, always remember watch my second promo video where I've given credits to all the Laya Vidwans who have contributed to this field. So always you have to think about them. Once in a while I go and listen, I look back into that episode, because those are the people who laid this so strongly, and it had taken exponential dimensions now by the young talented artists like Anand, Anantakrishnan, or Patri Satish Kumar, Medakaveri Balaji. There are few promising youngsters who have taken all this art to a very great extent. I've just named a few. There are very many youngsters who are fabulous enough who have taken this art to a great extent. So I'm sure you're also going to be one among them. It's 2018, maybe another 5-6 years. Anybody from my academy, if they get into that, and that's the greatest achievement for my academy and for you personally, per se. Hope you have now understood the expectations from level 5. I've detailed out what I'm going to cover. So just travel with me in this journey to understand this and have an enjoyable journey in this level 5 as well. I wish you all good luck, and I want you to be a star from Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy, and it's absolutely possible. And if you have real passion, and if you have sustained effort and religious and self-discipline in your approach, absolutely, I am sure in the next few years you will be one among the young budding talents who can be recognized by this Laya world. யான் எனது என்னும் செருக்கு அறுப்பான் வானோர்க்கு உயர்ந்த உலகம் புகும். What is the meaning of it? உடலை யான் எனவும். A person thinks about his body as himself. பொருள்களை எனது எனவும், all the materials, whatever he has possessed, he thinks it's all his. And if he thinks like that, நினைக்கின்ற மயக்கத்தை போக்குகின்றவன் வானோர்க்கும் எட்டாத உயர்ந்த உலகம் போவான். If he can get out of this illusion of this maya of என்னுடையது, யான் எனது, it's not mine, this body is not me, the material is not mine. And if he can get to that sort of a jnana, and he will be respected in the heavenly abode by the devas. That's what Tiruvallur states in this Tirukkural. And I am concluding this class. I will start off as the first part in my next class, the Pancha Nadais, the first being Tisra Nadai. We'll see you in the next class with basics of Tisra Nadai.